morning from WVAR Election Headquarters. We've been watching and monitoring the results of West Virginia's primary election since the polls closed at 7:30 last night to give you up-to-the-minute results. So here is our first round. We're going to talk only about national races today, and we'll save the state races for another report this week. First off, let me say that according to the Secretary of State, voter turnout was poor, only about 20%, 315,000 ballots cast across the state out of 1.2 million registered voters. So with that, let's get to the results, and we'll start at the top of the ticket.
The U.S. Senate on the Democratic side offered no big surprises. NAR-endorsed incumbent Senator Joe Manchin captured almost 73% of the vote and easily defeated his primary challenger, Paula Jean Swearinger. On the Republican side, West Virginia had one of the most watched and most talked about races in the country. While 6 candidates were running, in reality it was a 3-man race, pitting West Virginia Attorney General Pat Morrisey, 3rd District Congressman Evan Jenkins, and former Massey Coal executive Don Blankenship against each other. While the race always seemed to be between Jenkins and Morrisey, a last-minute surge had Blankenship moving up in the polls. Blankenship, earlier convicted for his role in the deaths of 29 miners as a result of an explosion in one of his mines, had an axe to grind with Joe Manchin, claiming he was the only candidate that could beat him in the general election. Clearly the most colorful of the 3 candidates, Blankenship drew the eye of the media on a national level when it was discovered he was registered to vote in Las Vegas, claimed to be Trumpier than Trump, and labeled U.S. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell with the moniker Cocaine Mitch. In the end, the people spoke, and Attorney General Morrisey took the day with roughly 35% of the vote, defeating Congressman Jenkins by around 7,000 votes. Morrisey will go on to face Manchin in the fall in what should be a very lively campaign. The key will be the crossover vote. Many Democrats and independent voters opted for Republican ballots in the primary to vote against Don Blankenship, and will return to their roots in the fall and vote for Manchin. No surprises in the 1st and 2nd Republican congressional races, as Realtor-endorsed incumbent Congressman David McKinley and Alex Mooney both ran unopposed. On the Democratic side, Wheeling plaintiff's attorney and favorite Ralph Baxter was defeated by WVU law professor Kendra Furshey. She ran on a campaign including advocating universal health care. Baxter, although expected to win, lost by almost 10 percentage points. While it's too soon to make any substantive predictions, McKinley should be successful in the fall. In the 2nd Congressional District, Charleston resident and former staffer for Senator Rockefeller, Tally Sargent, easily defeated her opponent, Hedgesville resident and veteran Aaron Schimberg, with almost 63% of the vote. While Congressman Mooney received about 6,000 more primary votes than Sargent, 17,000 Democratic votes went to Schimberg. This could be one big horse race in the fall. Finally, great news in the 3rd. Congressman Jenkins created an open seat when he filed for the Senate race and generated a good deal of interest on both sides of the ticket. The continued frontrunner and victor on the left was current state Senator Richard Ojeda, capturing 52% of the vote and easily defeating his opponents. In the late days of the campaign, rumors began to surface regarding numerous scandals and fraudulent behavior from Senator Ojeda. Perhaps too late to compensate for the early voting, it will be a big issue in the general election. On the Republican side, Realtor-endorsed candidate Carol Miller, currently a member of the West Virginia House of Delegates, defeated her opponents in a 3-way race that went down to the wire. In the end, Delegate Miller defeated her closest opponent, Rupi Phillips, by about 1,600 votes and won the nomination. The good news is, of the 94,912 votes cast in the 3rd District, 65,075 were cast for someone other than Ojeda. While some of those Democratic votes will stay with the party nominee, the 3rd District is the reddest district in the state and votes Republican. As such, this is a very winnable race for Delegate Miller.
That's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this brief summary of yesterday's primary election results. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel, Facebook, and watch your emails for more updates later this week. As always, thanks for listening.